Thank you so much for being with us. It's great to have you on the show. I believe this is your first interview as the CEO of MBC Group. Congratulations on the new role. So what can you tell us about your journey so far?
Yeah, well, thank you, Lara, and thanks for having me on the program. Well, look, it's great to be back in the region after almost 15 years. I spent 2010 and 11, a lot of that time I spent right here in Riyadh, the early stage of my media career. And, you know, for me, it's terrific to be back and to see the transformation that we've seen in the region and the continued transformation that we're seeing as we head towards Vision 2030. Of course, in that period of time, the media industry has changed dramatically. And with that, MBC, I think, you know, credit to the team at MBC led by our chairman, Sheikh Walid, who've done a fantastic job at taking up the leadership position across the media industry right here in the region. But of course, the landscape's changing, and with that, MBC is going to need to continue to change and evolve and continue to take on that leadership role across the industry.
Mike, let's discuss the results. We have seen significant growth in revenues and profits in the first half of this year. What were the main drivers behind this growth?
Yeah, look, we're really pleased to announce such a fantastic result this week. And of course, in addition to that, the success of the result this week comes from all parts of our business. All business segments have performed strong growth over the year-on-year half. And if we drill down into where that growth has come from, I think very pleasingly, our television and streaming segments have performed strongly. So television, notwithstanding the fact that we've seen, you know, some uncertainty in the ad market, which has been driven by some of the instability in the region, we've still delivered strong growth in advertising revenues. And of course, Shahid continues to grow in both streams of revenue. That's the subscription revenue that comes from our direct-to-consumer subscribers, but also advertising video on demand has held up really well in a tougher ad market, delivering growth.
Mike, how does the non-renewal of the Saudi Pro League, how can this affect the future revenues of Shahid?
Look, yeah, it's disappointing not to be renewing with SPL this year, but of course, every investment that we make in content, whether that's live sport, whether that's our scripted, non-scripted or live entertainment content, we have to look at through a very commercial lens. And had we have progressed at the levels of costs in relation to SPL this year, it would have been a strong negative towards our P&L. Having said that, there continues to be lots of great opportunities in front of us. We'll continue to invest in sport. We'll continue to invest in our broader slate of scripted, unscripted and live content, and of course in the partnerships that help us deliver that to market.
Including a partnership with Netflix. That's an interesting partnership. Help us understand the rationale behind partnering with a competitor.
Yeah, look, I think maybe the perception is that Netflix is the big competitor and we're coming together with a competitor. But when you look at the driver of both of our businesses, Netflix is the international leader and Shahid is the leader in the region, MBC and Shahid, the leader in the generation, creativity and delivery of Arabic language content. And when you've got that strong differentiation between two services, you can bring them together in a way that the partnership, the 1 + 1 equals more than 2. And so this is symbolic of the sort of thing that you'll see from MBC as we continue to look at the way that the industry is evolving, the way that we need to think about both content creation, content commissioning, but also partnerships with both local and international players.
Mike, let's discuss the expansion plans of MBC. I know you are building a studio in Nargis district in Riyadh. What's the update on that? How can this contribute to your future growth?
Yeah, well, Nargis is really a great opportunity for MBC to bring together more of our production here in the Kingdom. And we're already well progressed. We've got our 3 studios that are open. We've just wrapped shooting on Top Chef, the 9th season of Top Chef. And for the rest of the year, those studios have a jam-packed schedule. MBC Studios, division of MBC, has around 100 productions in the pipeline. So the opportunity for us is to bring more of that into a centralised location, give us efficiencies in terms of both production and costs, but also contribute significantly, as NBC has always done, to the growth and development of the industry right here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And that comes with a strong economic benefit and return. So lots to come in terms of Nargis. We're going to continue to develop more infrastructure that supports those studios, and that will run through to early 2026.
And you need the money to expand, and that's why the company did not distribute dividends last year. Is that policy still valid?
Yeah, look, we obviously announce our dividends and give guidance around dividends when we have our General Assembly meeting each year, and recently we had that meeting, and as you say, we made the decision that we are better to continue to reinvest in the future growth of NBC, and of course, when our next General Assembly comes around, we'll continue to update and give guidance around that view.
Mike, one last question. What is the outlook for the second half of this year after the strong results that we have seen in the first half?
Yeah, well, reflecting on the first half result, as we spoke about, you'll see the drivers of that result coming from our television and our streaming business. And moving forward into the second half, we'd expect to see a very similar profile. And in order to underpin that, we're going to need to continue to focus on delivering the most premium, differentiated content across our platforms, be it scripted, unscripted or live programming. So you'll see that as a key focus. We need to remain diligent about cost. There is still some uncertainty and instability in the region, and of course that means we need to focus on efficiencies and costs within the business. So you'll see that as a continued focus, and again the partnerships that sit in front of us, so the opportunity to think about international and local players, and in particular within the Kingdom, aligning with those opportunities across sports and the more broad entertainment sector, where we can align with those and create new opportunities for revenue. So you'll see all of those part of the second half for NBC Group.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.